Welcome back, Brush Monkeys. This week we are continuing the TT Games Carnevale series with this young lady called the Barnabotti. And I wasn't sure what a Barnabotti was, to be honest with you, or what the term means. So I looked it up online. And Barnabotti, according to Wikipedia, were a class of impoverished nobility found in the Venetian Republic toward the end of the Republican period. The term Barnabotti derives from the fact that the group met and lived in the zone of the Campo San Barnaba. So that's who they are. They're basically impoverished royalty, nobility. Although you wouldn't know they were impoverished by the way they dress. Both her and the Venetian noble are awfully elaborate costumes here. Now the box art for the Barnabotti, I've got that out too, and very elaborate purple and pink, and various shades of purple and pink dress there, and I like that. I like how that looks, but in doing research for the Carnevale figures, I worked out all the color schemes in the book based around the box art, how I would paint them if I was doing them all according to the box art. This one and the Venetian Noble, I think I kind of decided to deviate from the box art a little bit and looked up some ideas on Wikipedia. Not Wikipedia, Pinterest. And I think for the Barnabotti, I saw one in here that I really liked. And I thought I was going to go for something like that. And now I'm not finding it. God damn it. I'm going for something more akin to this. This kind of red and black with gold trim. I think is going to look really striking on her. So that's how I'm going to do that. I'm kind of winging it a little bit because, like I said, I worked out my color scheme plan based around the box art, and now I'm deviating entirely from the box art. So this should be kind of interesting to see how this turns out. First we're going to go with those reds. Some golds. Actually, I think I'm probably just going to do the old gold with a wash of Seraphim Sepia. Got to do Goleman Flesh in there for the flesh, so of course we're going to need that. And there we go, there's a Goleman Flesh. The hair, I think we're going to go with Ulthuan Gray. And I'd like to say I'm going to layer it with that with white, but I think what I'm probably going to end up do is dry brushing it with Praxetti white so I get a little texture in there. Yeah, the mask is going to be gold. Obviously need steel for the dagger. Steel for the dagger. Gold for the dagger hilt. Yeah, I think that'll just about cover it. We'll do the usual black with the Nightmare Black for the highlights for the dress. And I think that'll come out pretty nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and get started, and then we'll come back and see what kind of progress I made. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, I've made some progress on our Barnabotti here. I've got the skin painted up, I've got the reds based, I got the black of her dress based. It looks a lot shinier than I meant it to. I was going to use Vallejo model color black gray because I thought it was really dark gray, and that would kind of show some of the layers a little better when I did the Nightmare black over the top of it, so it would show that blue a little bit better, and that didn't work out. It's actually pretty close to Eshin gray. It's not really it's dark gray, but it's not as dark as I thought it was. I thought it was at least as dark as the Nightmare black, that it would just show gray on the highlights and not just be a really dark gray. So I went ahead and did the Vallejo model color black, just straight up black, and I'll go over that with the Nightmare black, and I think that'll be fine. It's still thin enough that I think the blue is going to show up on it. I think it's going to look really nice. Another thing I kind of ran into, and I hope I can focus in close enough on this, but there is a little line on her wrist right there that didn't look like a bracelet. It looked like she was wearing a glove, and so I painted it as such. I looked at painted it as like a little fingerless glove, like she was wearing, and that was because I looked into went back to Pinterest. That's like my main color research thing, and came across this picture. And if you can see on her hand, she's wearing a little half finger glove. And I can't really tell on the other hand because she's got a bunch of other stuff on there. But yeah, the one half finger glove on there. And it kind of made sense that would be the one she'd be holding the dagger with. So I painted on there. I tried not to paint it on too thick so it would look a little lacy, still show some of the skin through it. And then her other hand did not have that line on it, so I just left it as plain skin. I'm not sure why she's doing the Michael Jackson thing there, but there you have it. Base the hair. The only color I've layered so far has been the skin. I started out with a base of Wraithbone and then put the Guilliman flesh over the top of it. So the next step is going to be shade washing that red, and then starting to fill in all the rest of that stuff. Starting to layer in all the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and shade wash it. And as usual with well, I don't know. Kind of debating here still. I could shade wash it with Druchii Violet, or I could shade wash it with Carroburg Crimson. I think this time, to make it stand out a little bit, I'm going to shade wash it with Carroburg Crimson. I don't normally do that. I find that Druchii Violet gives a lot better shade in the depths of red fabric. Purple is a better shade for that. But in this case, since there's not a whole lot of definition in it, there's a couple little folds right down here, but for the most part it's just going to be outlining where other fabric touches it. And I think for that purposes that the Carroburg Crimson, I think, is going to be a better choice for the shade wash. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then let that dry. Take a break while that dries, and then we'll come back and layer the reds, layer the blacks, dry brush the hair, all that fun stuff. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can kind of see how that looks now. I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and then I'll see you in a little bit with some more progress. Alright, bye. Alright, brush monkeys, we're back, and I have layered the reds, I've layered the black. Grass is still awfully shiny. I layered the bows and feathers in her hair, and I did a few layers of the bow ribbons across the front there. Those aren't actually black, it's actually Nightmare black. It's about 3 layers of Nightmare black, so it doesn't show hardly any of the blue, but it shows the black really well. The highlights on the skirt and the reds are subtle, but you can kind of see the difference in the reds on the front there, and on the fan. Get her fan up too. And it's kind of hard to tell because it's a real subtle effect, but I did just a little bit of the Vallejo Model Color Brown Rose on her lip. Here, just to bring that out a little bit. So that's really it for the main colors on her. Now we got to do the metallics. So I'm going to go ahead and go through and I think we're going to thin down the gold a little bit, but I want to go through and paint all the golds and all the... See, I've got gold and I've got old gold. I think I'm going to mix the two of them together here and paint the golds. And then shade wash that with the Seraphim Sepia. And possibly dry brush with a little bit of this Golden Griffin. Depending on where it's located. Like, I don't want to get gold all on the dress and stuff like that, but some of it I think it will benefit from that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and do the metallics, and then we'll come back and take a look, and then we'll wrap her up. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, I'm back. I've got the golds based and shade washed on her. The shade wash is still kind of wet, but I think you'll agree that this color scheme on her looks far more striking than the box art. Here's the box art with the purples and pinks, and here's her with that black, red, and gold. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this came out. I don't wing it with my color schemes very often, but I think this one really came out nice. I'm going to go ahead and let that shade wash dry, and then we'll dry brush some of that gold texturing in there with some Golden Griffin, just to gleam it up a little bit. And then I've got the gray sear out. I'm going to touch up that where that red kind of slopped over onto the bricks there, and do up the base, and she's pretty much done. So she's coming along pretty nicely. I really like how she's turning out. So yeah. So I think yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the dry brushing on the golds once the shade wash dries. Touch up the base, do the base and the base band, and go ahead and matte seal her. So the next time you see this lady, she's going to be completely finished. Alright? Pretty happy with how she's coming out. I hope you are too. And I will see you guys in a little bit. Bye. Alright, I know I said when next time you see this girl she's going to be done, and she almost is. I got a couple layers left to put on the base, and then the metallic purple on the base band, but I was just so happy with the way these metallics came out. I had to show this off. All this gold. Look at this beautiful bitch. It came out looking so awesome. I decided to dry brush the black, like right here and here, just to kind of differentiate it a little bit from the rest of the black and the rest of the dress. And she's looking so good. The mask came out looking awesome. She is looking like a fantastic, fantastic lady. Still waiting on the paving stones to dry, and then I'm going to do another layer on the base band. But she's coming along really well, and I want to show that off. Okay, so now next time you see her, she'll be completely finished. So, yeah. See you soon. Bye. And there she is, boys and girls. The Barnabotti from TT Games Carnevale series is finished, and she's looking pretty good. You see all those subtle highlights on the dress. All the red and gold looks amazing. I'm pretty happy with how she turned out. So I'm calling her done, and next week we will start in on the Venetian Noble. I think this one I might be sticking a little closer to the box art for, but we'll see. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click subscribe. Both of those help me with my YouTube numbers and help support me doing what I do best. Speaking of which, if you want to support me more directly, you can visit my Patreon site and go on my Instagram page to see all the miniatures that I paint on this site and how to get your hands on one of your own if you want one. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. You can check both of those to see when new videos get posted. And visit my merch store at storefrontier.com/flymonkeystudios. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.